Yo, what's good, everybody? It's One Pac here. Just wanted to make a video and post it to connect with the video I made several weeks ago about the I Ching, Book of Changes, or the Oracle. In that video I made about it, I explained it a little bit, gave like a little history about the book, and I talked about how it came to be in my possession, how I discovered it, and the significance of that. uh, so with this one, I wanted to take it a step further. I wanted to show how to actually use the book for divination, and so that's what this video is about. I'll show you how to use it for divination. Probably so. Traditionally in China, ancient China, they use yarrow stalks to consult the I Ching, and that's their traditional way. And how it works is you throw them on the ground and then you pick them up in a certain order, and that's how you get your answer. But the only problem I have with that is I don't have yarrow stalks, and I've never really seen if you can, like, that's something you can get on Amazon. And I'm sure if I went maybe to like back home to San Francisco or some shit, I could probably find some in Chinatown, maybe. But so that's the yarrow stock is a traditional way, but the most popular way I would say is the using the coin method. And if you look into Google or YouTube about how to use the coin method, they show you how to use how to consult or using 3 coins, and the 3 coin method is probably the most popular method used. But I've been using consulting the I Ching for probably close to 20 years now, and I discovered the 2 coin method. And the benefit of using the 2 coin method is that statistically, mathematically, it's the closest representation you can get of using the traditional yarrow stocks. So the 3 coin method doesn't get as close or is as accurate as the yarrow stocks. The 2 coin method is the closest one. So that's why I have always, when I learned about the 2 coin method, that's why I've always used that. And so yeah, I mean, if you try to look up the 2 coin method, like Google it, or like try to find it, there's not a lot of information about how to use the 2 coin method. I can't really remember where I learned how to use the 2 coin method. I want to say I read it somewhere, or I don't know. But so I have right here, I'll post it in the video description too, but I wrote it on a note card, the 2 coin method. I'll explain a little bit how to do that. And like I said, I'll in the description, I'll post it too, or you could just screen cap that. But using the I Ching for divination is it's been a part of human history since Babylon. Before even, I mean, in ancient China, they were using the I Ching thousands of years ago. If you look into the Bible, and like the Old Testament, even they were using divination. Moses and Aaron were using Urim and Thummim, which was a form of divination that they said actually they used to actually talk to God. And that was a breastplate that they used with rocks. And in Christianity and in Judaism, they used it, and only in those cultures and religions, only the highest priests who were appointed by God himself were able to use divination. And then when you go into the story of Jesus, they used divination when he was crucified to cast lots to see who got his clothes. And even like tarot cards has been around forever, and where we get even in tarot, the modern day deck of cards, playing cards, is modeled after the tarot cards. And so it's just it's kind of divination isn't like chance. It's kind of a way to, I mean, in the Bible they use it to talk to God. So divination is a way to, talk to or query the universe or your subconscious mind or something. But the one thing you find about the I Ching is it has its own personality, and you use it and you query it a question and it gives you the answer. And sometimes it's spot on, and sometimes it's kind of a cryptic type thing, and that makes you think about what it's trying to tell you. So it's just a good way to like consider a question or a situation in your life from, just get out of your head about it. So basically here, I'll show you, here's the 2-coin method right here. So basically you, when you go to ask or query, so you're supposed to sit, when you have a question you want to ask, you want to think about the question deeply, focus on it, meditate, go sit in a quiet place, and then, kind of like really focus on the question so it's fresh in your mind. And then you want to like date it, time. So today, 7:05 a.m. So I just wrote this question a few minutes ago before I started the video. You write your question out, and then once you have all that, you want to continue to be focusing on the question. So with the 2-coin method, you for each line, so these are the lines you get. You basically get a hexagram, which is, the answer is a hexagram, and that's made up of 6 lines. So it's either a solid line or a broken line, or a broken line changes into a solid line, or it's a solid line that changes into a broken line. So with each line you get, there's only 4 combinations that you can get to make up your hexagram. And if, like I said, you just kind of gotta just take this information, and if you just use it, and you'll see what I mean. So anyways, each line is made up of 2 coin tosses. So to get a hexagram, with the 2-coin method, you toss the coins 12 times. So basically, here we go. So that's heads and tails. So for the first toss, 2 heads equals 2, otherwise it equals 3. So that would be 3. So, and I just like to write them down like this, and then I'll put it together at the end. I'll show you. So heads and tails. So on the second toss, heads is 2, tails is 3. So, and you add them up, so that's 5. And so that's the first line right there. Do it 5 more times. 3. 5. 3. 5. Wow, we're getting a lot of 8s here. A lot of broken lines. It's 3 again. 6. 3. So yeah, I mean, and also when you're supposed to write it down and kind of maybe keep it in a journal, or keep your questions for, so future reference, you're able to go back and kind of, you can use it in that way too. All right, last two tosses right here, and then I'll show you how to get the line, or sorry, the hexagram, get the lines. So yeah, and part of the reason I'm making this video, I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but I always see the 3-coin method, but the 2-coin method is the way to go. So I just want to put it out there for people who are curious about it, to the most accurate way that I found, besides a Yarrow stock. So okay, here we go. We toss. So the first toss is either a 3 or 2. So all of our first tosses were 3s. The second toss for each line was it could either be 4 or 6 or 5. And you start from the bottom. When you make your hexagram, you start from the bottom to the top. So we'll start at the bottom, 8, which is right here, broken line. 8 again, broken line. 8 again, broken line. We got a 9, which is a changing line. 7 and 7. So when you get a 9 or a 6, the changing lines, basically that means that the question, some answers that it gives you are static, meaning it's just one answer about the question or the situation you're having. If you get a broken line, that means that the answer or the situation is dynamic and changes. So you get 2 answers basically. It's saying that this hexagram changes, or the situation changes into the other hexagram. So a solid line, a changing solid line just means that it turns broken. So we write it out like this: broken line, broken line. All the other lines are the same, but the solid line turns broken. Solid. So that's basically what that looks like. So then once you have that written down, you go to your book, and I have both my copies right here. This book is super good. I mean, this one's really good too, honestly. This one's dope, and I guess the more translations and references you have of it, or translations you have, just the more insight you're able to get. So definitely if you use it, have more than one copy, I would say. Just so we go here, and where's our card at? So we're looking at, so on the left hand column you have your bottom trigram. So you have trigrams. Left column is bottom trigrams, top column is the top trigrams, and you basically combine the trigrams to make a hexagram. So we're looking at, so you find your bottom one, which is right here, 3 brokens, and then we're going to 3 solids at the top. So we got number 12. Write that down. And then the changing one is, it looks like all broken, so 12 again, and then 2 solids at the top, so it'd be number 20 right here. And then once you have that all written down, sorry, I'm holding my phone with one hand. So once you have all that written down, what you do is you turn to, the first one was number 12. So number 12, that's your part of your, that's your answer, or that's the judgment it gives you. So this one is called stagnation. Yeah, that makes sense. So you read all this, and that's the situation that you're facing, or the question about the question you're having. And then this translation is really good too, because it gives you, for this changing line right here, the fourth line. It says for changing lines, you turn to 154. So, and this is one of the only translations I found that gives you explanations on the changing lines themselves. So then you would go right here, changing lines, fourth line. You would read about the fourth line, then turn to, so there's an order it goes in, and this is basically how you read your answers every time. And then you go to 20, which is, we're getting close right here. So the answer is stagnation, and then the situation changes into contemplating with the fourth changing line, and you would read all this, and that's the judgment. And so there might be kind of a lot that goes into it, but it's worth it. It's good insight, and yeah, that's how you use the 2-coin method to consult or query the I Ching. And I would read it. I would read the answers in this book, and then I would also read them in this book, just to kind of have that double. And I have another I Ching on my shelf too, but I might read all three, because they all say the same thing, just in different ways, so that it could be super helpful. But yeah, that's the 2-coin method. I'll post this in the description. And yeah, hope anyone who comes across this uses it and uses the 2-coin method, and give you good insight about life and your life and situations you might face. And the other thing is, when you write a question, it should not be a yes or no question. So don't ask it like, will I, can I? It should be open-ended questions. So just remember that too as well. But yeah, other than that, yeah, thanks for watching. And if you come across this and you see me, say what's good, dude. Holler at me. Let me know what's good. Thank you.